Everyone is welcome here, it's time to make new friends. Aquavide Uskava, fill your Glencairn. Share a dram with the spirit of Edmonton. Slancha!
Good evening, Whiskey Brothers, Whiskey Sisters, and Whiskey Friends, and welcome to episode 66 of the Canadian Whisky Journey's Whiskey Review. I'm Dolph. I'm the creator of the Canadian Whisky Journey, the president of the Alberta Scotch Society, and I'm your host tonight. So we're continuing our Canadian Whisky Journey with the first installment of the Summer Backyard series. The premise is pretty simple. I review whiskeys in my backyard. So I'm starting with the first whiskey that I bought on my recent visit to Ontario in Georgian Bay. And I'm just going to look at my comments now, just make sure we can actually hear me. There's Stephen. How you doing, Stephen? And Kent, how's my audio? All good, I'm hoping. This is take number 2. But here it is. This is the whiskey right here and right now. And you know what? I just came back from a trip from Ontario. It was hot, and I needed some whiskey. I needed some cold, some fantastic whiskey at that point. This wasn't fantastic whiskey, but it was good. It has a purpose, and we're going to tell you about that right away. So this is from it's called Georgian Bay Whiskey. Their whiskey themselves, and if I give you the picture, here, I'll show you where it comes from. It is from this little place right here. So Lake Ontario. And you can see Peterborough, you can see Mississauga, you can see the other. So they're right up there. Look at the little red dot. That's where they are. They're not on the beach right now, but they want to be. So let's get that off. Let's continue with that. There we go. All right. So the premise is kind of neat. I don't know the owners. I didn't go there in person, and I didn't interview them. So I had to get my information, like a lot of people, straight online. So that's why I did. And they have a lot of fun with their backstory. So the two owners, Denzel Wads and Tim, I have a hard time with this, Keen Layside. They were on a chairlift overlooking the Georgian Bay, and they decided to further develop their love for cocktails by opening a distillery. That's what they say online. That's it. That's what they do. And they obviously did a pretty good job, because 10 years later, they're still open. And what they have now is an 8,200 square foot distillery, a facility in Collingwood. And they're aiming at opening their showcase home on the shores of Georgian Bay. So looking at their products online, they're mostly RTDs, so ready to drink cans. But let's delve into this whiskey. So this bottle right here, again, if I show it to you, is bottle 727 of batch 22. It's 750 ml, non-age statement, blend of rye and corn. And it's available in Ontario, Manitoba, and New Brunswick. And there's nothing else on the bottle. There's nothing else online. And so I'm just going to go straight into the tasting notes. And when I tasted this for the first time last night, I guessed it was 100% corn. I didn't think there was any rye in there at all. I got the wood, but I didn't think I got the rye. So I'm guessing really low, 5%-ish. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But it's got corn on the nose and the mouthfeel that's common with some Canadian whiskeys. So on the note, the initial impression is that they went a little bit too far into the tails with this one. And because I get a little bit of that solventy smell. And my wife's really good at picking that up. And yeah, we got that right away. But then comes the corn sweetness and a touch of spice, a little rye in the oak, and maybe some vanilla, right? Just a little bit on the nose. Now the palate. So great mouthfeel. It is. And that's the corn influence. It's there. It's sweet, and more sweet. And again, with maybe a hint of vanilla. But maybe me thinking it's a new oak might be giving me the vanilla thought in there. The oak is present on the influence is gone now. No perceivable burn, but this is 40% whiskey and corn, and it's made well, and no burn. It's nice that way. Now the finish. Really short finish that sticks with the same flavor, and it's vanilla. or marshmallow sweetness is kind of what I get. So yeah, it's like marshmallow sweetness on the end. Now this is a $40 whiskey right here, $39.95 plus the heavy tax you poor guys are paying in Ontario, and it costs a little bit more than that, but $39.95 is what we're going to say right here. And it has its place. It has its place in the sunny backyard in the form of a highball. So it's not really a sipping whiskey. It's not. If you expect to get a sipping whiskey for $40, you're not getting it here. But what you do get in the form of a highball, so lots of ice, 2 ounces of whiskey, fill the rest with soda water, and it's refreshing. And I had other whiskeys when I was in Ontario, just like this. This is how I was enjoying them with 30 degrees and 42 or 44 with the Humidex. It was crazy. But yeah, it is refreshing, and the sweetness in this goes well. It's very light, and you know what? If you're trying to get someone into whiskey, this is a great way to do it with the highball. You still get some of the flavors, you get all the sweetness, nice mouthfeel. It's pretty good. And yeah, if you're in Georgian Bay, you should enjoy this. Get away from the RTDs continually. Just let's go with some whiskey. Do it like this. It's fantastic, and hopefully, we're all pretty happy. Oh yeah, it's a good place to be in the backyard. I'll see you guys again next Tuesday, maybe. Cheers with the highball.